Now, with things slowing down in RAF Classic and people basically just raid logging, well, maybe not you, because you're going to comment now saying, I'm not raid logging. Okay, not you. But a lot of people are raid logging, and there's a lot of people with multiple characters that are even raid logging at this point. But it's been a couple of weeks since I've done an update, so I just wanted to talk to you about what I've been doing, and some of it's actually quite fun. In this, you're going to get to see what achievements I've got, and have I actually got the Undying now? Spoiler. Headaches, but yeah, I have. Finally, but also a little bit late, Glory of the Raider. A couple of other achievements that I've got recently. A really fun way that I've been leveling my Rogue and newly Druid. So that's my primary focus. I need to go back to my roots. I need my Druid at 80. So if you want to see me leveling that, Scottejaye 87 over on Twitch, come give us a follow. You're also going to find out a very valid reason why you shouldn't drink and play WoW, because you might wake up with less gold than you started with. A way that our guild are preparing for Phase 2, which, as you've noticed, there's been Phase 2 related content on the channel recently, so that's mainly because we are actually preparing, so I'm hopefully going to drag you along, but I'm going to talk to you about how we've been preparing and show you something what I think is quite cool. But I have been playing around on the retail pre-patch, and I probably will play Dragonflight a little bit, and it was a really good time for today's sponsor. So the sponsor of today's video is definitely not a stranger of this channel, but Rested XP are launching. At the time of recording, it's not even out yet. It's going to be in the next probably 8 to 12 hours from recording, but they have retail guides going out for Dragonflight. So if you're a slave to that blue arrow in Classic like I am, maybe you're a little bit rusty when it comes to retail, Rested XP have got you covered. Use the link in the description or the pinned comment. You get to support the channel a little bit by buying it, so that's also great stuff. But thanks Rested XP for sponsoring the video, and obviously go and pick up your classic guides or your gold assistant, all that sort of thing. On with the video. Now, I suppose the best place to start is the achievements. So finally, I have not only got Glory of the Raider. As you can see, I was a little bit later than most. Actually got it on the 2nd of the 11th, so I haven't done an update about what I've been doing in game since then, but you can see I've now got Glory of the Raider, which obviously includes Undying, which I'd done a couple of days prior. Now, I have had loads of headaches with this achievement. In fact, the last 2 resets, I think it's been, where I've been trying to help other people get it, someone's died on KT every time. Clean run all the way to KT, and then whatever happens, someone falls asleep in a void zone or gets ice tombed and then chains it to absolutely everyone else. But if you still haven't got Undying, I really do feel your pain, because it's not a hard achievement. It's just a bit of a frustrating one when someone decides that they want to sabotage the run. And no, they don't mean to do it. Don't hate them. It's just one of those things. Still missing quite a few from the Glory of the Raider, obviously, and they would all go down together is comfortable to get. That's not an issue, and neither is Shocking, really, although again can be a bit of an irritating one. But the Immortal is one that we've not even attempted to get, because most of our guild just likes passing too much. Like, as you can see, so do I. Not the best passers in the world, but I'm hoping this week on Annabrecken and Gloof that I can hit those 99s, just so it's all nice and pink down in that best. But honestly, that's also why when you look at my Paladin, you'd be confused on what it's meant to be. Is it a tank? Is it a DPS? Because all I'm bothered about now is pushing out as much damage as possible. You don't need to be stacking stamina or anything like that. I'm talking to you prop Paladins. If you're still gemming for stamina and stuff like that, stop wasting your time. Just switch to full strength, get loads of attack power and start pumping. It's actually a lot of fun, to be fair. Like you can see, I've even gone as far as having the DPS meta gem in my head, as well as going for the attack power and crit on the leg enchant. I used both DPS trinkets. I even have berserking on the weapon. And trust me, I never come anywhere near dying. If you're constantly over like 70% health and never even dipping low, you've probably got too much stamina. Get some threat. Really, outside of Undying and getting the mount and not having the 25-man mount, I've got to go when the volcano blows recently, and that's about it. Quite honestly, I've been spending so much time on ults that I've not really been doing a great deal on my main. One thing I'm trying to tick off is the extremely hard to get classic Dungeon Master. Joke. But yeah, like I say, most of my time's being spent on my ults. And now, honestly, one of the more fun things I've been doing has been leveling ults. Now, if you've seen the Warrior video up here, then you know that was all about like soloing dungeons all the way up. And honestly, I've done questing on these ults. I've done dungeons on these ults. And dungeons solo is just so much faster. The Rogue is actually one that I thought was going to be more of a challenge. Actually soloing dungeons as something that's got no heals. It's not particularly tanky, but it does have a lot of cooldowns. And it was actually incredibly easy. Soloing Ragefire from level 12, then going into Wailing Caverns, even mixing in some Black Fathom Deeps before I then went to Razorfen Crawl, and then from Razorfen Crawl going to Scarlet Monastery. Now that's as far as I've got it, because I've really been playing about with different classes trying to decide what I really want as my ult. And like I said at the start of the video, if I said it at the start of the video, I'm going back to my roots. Feral DPS Druid, that's what I've played for like 16 years. that is going to be my ult. It's going to be my main ult. I'm going to take it very seriously to the point where I think I'm going to focus on achievements and reputations and all that sort of thing, actually, on the Druid over the Paladin. And that's where the Druid comes in. So I started the Druid a couple of days ago on stream. Sorry, there's something in the way of my camera. There we go. And that's where the Druid comes in. So I started the Druid a couple of days ago on stream and was just playing about with it. Not even sure that I was going to stick with it at the time, but now my mind's made up. Like, I'm loving it. So far, all I've been doing is soloing Ragefire, and now I'm in Wailing Cavern soloing that as well. I have got very good gear, as in things like Gloves of the Fang. As soon as I could physically wear those, I put them on with 7 agility, Deviate Scale belt, dark leather pants, agile boots with 7 agility. I'm going for as much agility as possible. Obviously got all jewelry with agility on, and then all the heirlooms that I can get, excluding the ring, which that ring still eludes me. I need to start putting some focus in on getting it. But overall, it's been a lot of fun. A really fun, challenging way to level any character, really. But I am going to max engineering on it. The difference between the Rogue and the Druid is on the Rogue, as soon as I could physically learn professions, I maxed them. So he's 31 with like max engineering and max mining. I can literally go and mine mithril at level 31. So I think I'm going to do the same on the Druid, but with dual crafting and engineering. So I'm just going to sit and have a little session one evening when I'm sat there, nothing to do, get the laptop out, watch a film, and just get those professions maxed, which I'm probably going to do either tonight if I manage to get this video edited beforehand, or tomorrow. And now I mentioned about playing drunk and how you can wake up and lose your gold. I need to go through here. When you've got a bar, it's very, very easy to get carried away when you're streaming. And that's precisely what happened when I thought it would be a good idea to find random strangers out in the world and just roll them for gold. They wouldn't have to give me anything. I was just going like, oh yeah, just slash roll, and if you win, I'll give you 1,000 gold. I was just finding random people and doing it. Seemed like a good idea at the time, but then when I logged on the next day and I gave away thousands of gold, yeah, put me off drinking. Now, that's not the only reason we're out here. So the reason I actually came out into the bar is to show you the Ulduar prep, so what we've actually been doing. And you're like, well, what possible preparation could you be doing out here other than preparation to get drunk for the rest of Phase 1? Now that I can get on board with. But no, what I've actually got out here, as you can see if I zoom in, this monitor here is actually what we've got a RAF private server set up on. It's only locally hosted, but the guild can actually connect to it. So that's why my bar is slowly turning into a server room. You know, having a keyboard on the bar and a mouse, it doesn't sit well with me. But what this means is everybody in the guild has got access to Ulduar already, with GM powers, so we can all just give ourselves all Phase 1 bis, or the gear that we're physically using. It's a bit janky, I've got to be honest, like, as in, it's not scripted particularly well or anything like that, but it gives people an idea on how to physically do the bosses. Let me go back through again. So what it's doing is just getting people accustomed to how the bosses physically work. And I'd be interested to know, like, do you know how to do that? Would you like to know how to do that? So you could potentially host a server for your guild. I wouldn't open it to anybody else. You know, there's only, I don't know, like 25, 30 of us that can physically use it. And we've only done some 10-man so far just to show people the different mechanics and whatnot. But it could be an interesting video if anyone was interested. But we've gone through, killed some bosses, we've looked at average drop chances on fragments of Valinir, for example. Now, we know it's not going to be scripted exactly like this come official Blizzard Phase 2, but it's probably going to be close. Also, what I'm thinking of doing is a nice overview of Ulduar, which is a video that I'm going to be working on over the next probably 3 or 4 days, which is not going to be an in-depth guide to every mechanic, but roughly what each boss does, what key loot that they're going to drop and things like that. So you just get a bit of a broad overview in about 18 to 20 minutes of everything that you need to know about Ulduar, including how to get keys, Valinir, but I've already done a video on Valinir, so it will be more just a brief overview, if you know what I mean. So if you think you're going to enjoy that video, thumbs up this video, like and subscribe to the channel and all that stuff. Thanks. But honestly, outside of raiding every week, focusing on ults, and the Druid is going to get full focus now, I've not really been doing that much. In fact, I've been playing a lot of games on this bad boy, on the PlayStation 5. I very recently bought 2, because 1 wasn't enough. Because if you don't know, this whole streaming structure or YouTube studio is obviously outdoors, excluded from the house, because the wife don't want me in there, obviously, doing all this. So I got a PlayStation 4 out here for streaming, and then I thought I'll get another one indoors, obviously, for when I'm like laid in bed. So I can do bed streams. I can literally stream on the PlayStation 5 in bed. It's a bit weird, but I can. But that's it. If you enjoyed the video, as I say, just a quick update on everything that I've been doing in game and out of game, really. You got a little bit of all sorts in this video. And again, thank you Rested XP for sponsoring the video. Really appreciate it. Roll the outro. There's lots of ways you can support the channel to keep me here putting out World of Warcraft content and covering all future MMOs. Consider joining the channel as a member. You get access to emotes. Everyone will know you're a member when you comment on future videos because you get a nice icon next to your name. And you get access to members-only videos, which I'll be putting a lot of on the channel throughout the year. Additionally, there's a Patreon link in the description as well. Thank you for watching all the way to the end, and I'll see you on the next one.